Hey, we're tapping in. We're going to get some divine feminine messages today. We're using the divine feminine deck. So stick around if you're interested. All right. Let's ask the angels, saints, ancestors into our energy for divine guidance with love, compassion, protection, and truth. So it is and so it will be. All right. Lady of Guadalupe, that might be relevant. The Empress of Protection is here. So I am safe. I am divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. That's beautiful energy. I want to hear more about her. So we're going to look her up. Okay, shine a little light where light needs to be shined. All right, so Our Lady of Guadalupe, or Guadalupe, depending on where you're from. Let's see what we got here. The Empress of Protection. Our Lady of Guadalupe is the emblazoned emblem of the uniquely powerful protection of a mother's love. Her image is believed to have miraculously appeared within the tilma or cloak of Saint Juan Diego. She appeared to him 4 times, the first of which was on December 9th, 1531. She spoke to Juan in his native language and asked him to build a church in her honor. They were standing on the hill outside Mexico City where the Spanish had recently destroyed a temple to the mother goddess Tonantzin, an Aztec goddess of love. Juan Diego tried to convince the Archbishop of the authenticity of the apparition, but to no avail. He asked Guadalupe to give him a sign that would help convince the Archbishop of her identity. So she appeared to Juan as a final time and told him to collect the Castilian roses, which are not native to Mexico, that were in bloom at the top of the hill. He gathered the roses in his cloak, and when they fell before the Archbishop, they could both see the emblem of Our Lady of Guadalupe inscribed on the inside of the man's cloak. Her image of Juan Diego's cloak has become Mexico's most popular religious and cultural symbol. It hangs above the high altar in the Basilica of Guadalupe in Mexico City. The basilica is the most visited Catholic pilgrimage site in the world, and the world's 3rd most visited sacred site. Its preservation and its mysterious creation have been a fascination for scholars and art historians for centuries. It seems to be defying the laws of nature, both by not decaying the way of natural substance should, and by having created in what seems to be one fell swoop rather than with multiple brushstrokes. This now infamous image is worn as a symbol of protection from banners in the army during the Mexican War of Independence and on the backs of migrant workers to shield them from being whipped, to modern t-shirts and tattoos to protect devout Catholics and gang members with the exceptional love of the divine feminine. Asking yourself, what is outside of us is also within us, even if we have never experienced a mother's love. A true force of that loving protection exists within us, so we can give it to ourselves. When Saint Juan Diego was concerned that the Archbishop would not believe him and was racing to meet Our Lady of Guadalupe, she appeared suddenly and said the most beloved phrase in the apparition story, a phrase that is inscribed on the entrance to her basilica. No estoy yo aquí, que soy tu madre. I am not here. I am who am your mother. Who am your mother. Sorry. The energy of a mother's love can travel to meet you anywhere, whether within the world or within your heart. The message is that she is here. You are mothered. But the message is also to ask for what you need. Saint Juan Diego asked Our Lady of Guadalupe for a sign that proved her identity and existence. She gave him her image emblazoned inside his cloak, one that has been venerated and considered holy ever since. We are ennobled with free will. The divine needs our request for assistance in order to enter our lives. Okay? All we need to do is assume the simplicity, the heart, and the humility of a child and ask for a sign that she is here. We will be met with more love than we could possibly imagine. And love is always the greatest and most powerful energy of protection. Okay? So with this intention, I say, I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. Okay? And then we're going to get a few other messages. So we're going to have her stay out. And below her is Mary Magdalene. Okay? The apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Okay? Strong divine feminine energy right now. It's beautiful. Thank you for this beautiful message. Let's see what else they have to say today. Thanks for sticking with me. If you stuck with me this long. Temperance. Balance is being restored for humanity. I need to harmonize. I need to blend. I need to find peace. Tranquility. Maybe even moderate. I need to take into account both sides and find compromise in the middle. There is a need to close out old chapters that no longer serve the highest and greatest good of all. Whereas before they only settled those who they were intended to help and support. Okay. Ace of Pentacles in the Moon. It's like behind the scenes, there's been many new things planted. Many seeds have been planted. There's been many cycles. There's been many evolutions. Okay. There's a need to kind of bring something new to the table that hasn't been done in a really long time. It's like time to tap into that intuition energy, the goddess energy. The feminine energy represents creation and creating from a place of harmony, peace, and love. This has been suppressed for quite some time, and it's time to have it be free. I have Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. All right, so freeing your soul, freeing humanity from being imbalanced. Okay, let's see. Ace of Cups. Divine love. Being able to sit back and be in this love energy and create from this place. Manifest from this place. Operate from this place. And it's a place of serenity. It's a place of peace. It's a place of oneness. Everything is in synchronization, sorry. Everything's like in sync with one another. King of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. Knight of Swords. Page of Swords. Ten of Cups. This is the epitome of happy life. This is like a happy life. This is something that, you know, brings joy, peace, harmony. There's like this beautiful rainbow here. I'm not sure if you can see that in the background there, but it's like looking back at something or looking at something and realizing like, hey, I was part of this change. I was part of doing something different. I was part of creating something beautiful for myself and my family and any other energies that would benefit from this. I'm getting like strong masculine energy here. King of Pentacles and a Knight of Swords. Sometimes this means that there's a need to change, and it's like releasing the ropes, okay, so that someone else can take over to some extent. It's kind of like finding a way to release the reins. Like this is, you know, someone who has like mastered the physical realm, has a lot of power, has a lot of money, and uses it to their own advantage. But it's only going in the direction that they see fit. It's not going in a direction that everyone can benefit from. It's not really in this direction. It's more potentially a bit self-serving, to be honest, with the Knight of Swords. Sometimes this energy is a bit cutthroat, cutting even, dismissive, aggressive even. And sometimes there's been things that have been done that have, you know, have needed someone to kind of play a game in order to get the outcome that they desire. I'm getting like there's a bit of, you know, investigation going on here, and realization too that like maybe this isn't the best approach that we take, you know, towards coming up with new solutions for the future. There's other things to take into account here. All right. There's many things to look into and to take into an account. There's a need to apply like reasoning, logical thinking, as well as intuition. The reality of the situation is the feminine strengths have been suppressed. And as a result, the masculine energies have been the ones creating. Therefore, going in a direction, okay, that might not benefit everybody, but maybe them. Like they win the prize. I'm getting with the Ace of Pentacles and the Temperance, like this is some feminine energy that is bringing balance and harmony and creating from that place and tapping into the intuitive abilities here to really consider all that is. And that's really it. It's like thinking about the whole and not just the piece. Okay? There's a much bigger game being played here. And maybe it's untapped wisdom here that could be beneficial to the whole. Nine of Wands. This is a strong energy that feels like, you know, we've tried it this way. It's time to try a new way. It's time to work together instead of against one another. And it's a time of action, perseverance, and moving towards a new direction for a better outcome. So here's the better outcome. Page of Cups. Remaining optimistic and hopeful and helping to lead and guide the generations to come so that they don't have to fix everything like we are. They're able to enjoy the benefits of having a human experience. So it's kind of like needing to pass on, right? Like play it forward. There's also like, you know, tapping into that childlike wonder. Right? Remember when you were young and you know, thought that everything was possible, but then over time felt like, oh, you know, like, I'm not so sure about that anymore. I feel like there's a system that's in control, and I feel like this is a bit of like freeing that soul, allowing for there to be change and being part of that change. Okay? Being part of that change. Yeah. High Priestess energy, tapping into this wisdom, this knowledge, you know, maybe things that are unknown or unseen in your traditional sense of things, but there's a need to kind of tap in because there's his hidden wisdom and knowledge that we need now, that we are meant to plant, grow, harvest. There's something here that's deeply rooted. And it's kind of like we're meant to bring it back. Like there's been so many that have come and gone, right? Queen of Cups energy. Okay, so there is this energy of creating from a place of emotion, compassion, empathy. That's what's missing in a lot of our earthly structures and the direction we go and how we go about it. Everything is go, 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 when we really should be sitting back and kind of tuning in and connecting with nature. There's this need to kind of like be present with the other species that we're meant to co-create with and cohabitate. Right now, that's out of balance. We have to bring that stuff back into balance. King of Cups, like I said, balance. It's like being able to appreciate when in a cycle it's time to create and when in a cycle it's time to rest, right? Because there's both. Both are needed. There's the feminine and the masculine. Both have their own cycle. Both have their own, creation process as well. It's like, how does that, so as above, so below, as within, so without, like, how does that present in our culture? How does that present in our society? How does that present? Is there value in worth in having that type of access and creating from that place? Three of Swords, Ace of Cups. At some point, we have to recognize that there's been a lot of heartache, betrayal, deception, and pain. And so there's healing needed, and it's collective healing. It's not just, it's almost like you can't, like part of it is it coming from into the consciousness for the masculines and feminines. Okay, I have both present. All right. And I'm also getting like masculine energies tapping into their intuition as well. Okay. So there very well could be like a strong awakening happening with the divine masculines right now. I feel like they're going through their own karmic cycles too, which is bringing them closer to themselves and the divine. It's helping them to realize what's love, what isn't love, and for them to seek a higher love. And that's a song. Seek a higher love. Yeah, they too have a free will choice on whether to accept their path or not. It's like, the quest, the pilgrimage, right, that we were hearing about. Many go on a spiritual quest and pilgrimage and have their free will choice to, okay, like up until this point in your life, like you've worked and done serving the matrix, and now you're like, I want to have a different experience, right? It's about having the stability and security to embark on that journey. It's a soul's journey. So there very much could be that going on in that collective. Hierophant and the King of Wands. The King of Wands is going to clarify the Eight of Wands. That's 9 wands. That's the 9 wands. So yeah, this is like taking inspired action, going after what you desire and making it happen. Okay, so there's maybe some big decisions playing out here. Maybe there's something that somebody's looking to experience in their life that they haven't yet. This could be going a bit from like tapping into wisdom and knowledge that wasn't already present. Maybe there's secrets, maybe there's things that they like to learn about. Hierophant energy. So this could be a spiritual teacher or guide of some kind. You do receive guidance. You could be someone either receiving or giving in this situation. The Hierophant, really talks about, how to, like, how are things showing up for you when it comes to your belief systems, and how are these affecting your life today? What would you like to see done differently, or how do you want to show up differently? Okay, so it's kind of like a look within. And then there is this support, there's acknowledgement, there's recognition of something that you've done or that you do that you need to be really proud of yourself for. Okay, so I feel like you may have taken some difficult experiences and made the best out of them in somehow. And so you're being seen as like an example. Like, if they can do it, I can do it, right? Maybe you were the underdog. Were you the underdog? I know I'm always the underdog. And so people may have been observing this journey, or maybe your journey is meant to be told, your story. So I feel like you may have overcome something that maybe you didn't have the best odds at. And so now you're being recognized by like, wow, that's amazing. Wow, that's amazing. Like, how did they get out of that situation? How did they overcome that challenge? How did they make it out alive? Like, it's that. It's like really good news. It's really strong support, really recognition of something done that's a wow, okay? Yeah. You know, there very much could be something that you are looking to do differently. I kept picking that up. And I'm getting like, this is not letting like the plans, the spoiled plans of the past, or the mindset, or the trickery get you off your track. You see it, you acknowledge it, you know it's there, you're not paying it any mind. You have bigger things to focus on, and it's not this energy, okay? So whatever Seven of Swords energy, it's kind of like, you know, you're too focused on what you're creating here to worry about who wants to see your demise. Like, just them thinking about putting you in energy of demise is setting themselves up for their own trap. And so you don't worry, you let it be. Okay. Let's see what else. We have a Tower, like I said. Okay. They got no power over you. None at all. Eight of Pentacles and the Chariot. You are devoted towards something. You're learning, you're practicing, you're applying. I feel like you're creating something. You're being guided to do this. It's part of your purpose. Okay? There's nothing they can do about it. Okay? Continue to focus on what you're here to focus on. It's in alignment for you. Okay? So if there is something that you're meant to do collaboratively, like you could be a reader like me and you're tapping into collective energy and you're sharing guidance and you're holding space for them, that is working with others towards a common goal, your purpose, your passion. You're of service here, of service of self, yes, because this is something that you've been guided to master so that you can help others that you come across in such a way that, you know, allows them to find that bright light in you and then see it in themselves. It's almost like a reflection. You may be an energy that kind of like ignites people in some way, like turns their light on, helps them with the light. When the light is on, you help them to like find that clear direction. Ten of Swords, Page of Cups. What's this? Ten of Swords. Yeah, I feel like, you know, Seven of Swords. I feel like these two are related. They could be family, or it could be as a result of family patterns repeating themselves over and over again until someone puts a stop to it. Okay? I feel like you put a stop to it, and it doesn't mean you don't have love for the people, places, things, whatever it is. but I'm getting that you have broken free from something that may have been holding you back your whole life. And now you love yourself. You're no longer jeopardizing yourself. You're remaining hopeful and optimistic and loving yourself because you're not willing to give yourself and others power over you. Like, no one has power over you anymore. You like snatch that back and it's yours. It's right here. It stays here. Two of Cups. He's a handsome fella. She is a pretty gal. Let's see what they have to say about this. Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. Someone is regretting the fact that they didn't put the work in when they should have. And they're feeling like they're close to an end. They're close to a finale. There's something that's coming to an end, and it very well could be someone wanting to maybe admit to woulda, coulda, shoulda, but didn't. I feel like this is the ending of a very difficult spiritual lesson for you and them. All right. I feel like there's a lot of inner turmoil going on here. Okay. If you're picking up on it, just know that it's not yours potentially, and you can always return it back to sender. Okay. But usually it's good to work from. So use the energy for something. Right. Use the energy for something. There's always something new to create. There's always a way to bring something back to life or start from scratch, right? Each day we're blessed with a brand new day. Like, what are you going to create with this brand new day, with this new beginning? Being able to co-create. Divine feminine energy, the Empress. The Empress has gone through many deaths and rebirths, been resurrected many times in many different ways. The Empress holds the womb of creation, and death is the energy before anything's been created. So there's this like stillness about it, right? There's this energy before anything's been thought, right? Because our universe is controlled by mentalism. So this is almost like understanding that there's the calm, right? The calmness, the quiet. And there's these cycles, right? Like we have cycles in life, we have cycles planetary, you know, even in nature. It's like paying attention to, look at, and then the numbers here are 13 and 3. Something has to end before something new can begin. And I'm getting like, this is that ending. And then this is a beginning. So I feel like for my divine feminine energies, you know, you are safe and divinely protected. You are held in love. You are. And the more you hold energy of love for yourself, the more you have for others, to hold space for others. I am held in love at all times. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Thank you, Mary Magdalene. All right, y'all. This is our divine feminine reading today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the next one.